Greetings to everyone on my channel. Sit back. Now you will listen to another incredible story about the relationship of a married couple and the incredible exposure of his wife. I will ask you to subscribe to my channel and like it. It's not difficult for you, but it's nice for me. Spring in Stockholm rushed by like a flash. And so, before the trees had time to cover themselves with the first buds, they had already turned green and bloomed. Late May in the Swedish capital was always very beautiful. The city was surrounded by greenery of numerous trees. The sun carefully warmed the residents of the city, reflecting its rays from the brown roofs of ancient houses. At the same time, there was still no summer heat in the air. The light breeze blowing from the mighty Gulf of Bothnia was a real delight for the formidable northerners, who were not used to the intense heat. The Nielsen family home has also been transformed. The large apple trees that grew on the plot next to the two-story stone house bloomed. The shrubs, which sheltered a large wooden fence in their shade, were also covered with beautiful flowers. A neatly trimmed lawn near a small pond, as usual, attracted pigeons and smaller birds who decided to bask in the rays of the May sun. Although it was already shining with might and main, illuminating every corner free from shadow with its rays, it was still early morning. In Sweden, as elsewhere in the north, it was getting light very early at this time. In addition, many people preferred to get up early on Sunday, enjoying the peace and quiet of the weekend for a long time. The silence of the cozy suburb of the Swedish capital was broken only by the noise of trees swaying in the wind and the singing of birds that had already begun their mating season. Usually the Nielsen house was the same quiet corner of the morning city, but not this time. Loud noises could be heard from the window of the second floor, hidden by a large crown of a spreading apple tree. Elsa Nielsen, the hostess of the house, actively discussed family matters with her husband Johan. The conversation was spirited, and their voices were full of emotion. Although there was usually silence in the house, this time the conversation was filled with energy. They exchanged impressions about recent events, planned the future, and shared their thoughts about future affairs. Johan, a middle-aged man, always tried to support his wife in any of her endeavors. Elsa, as an experienced and confident woman, also always supported him. Their life together was in harmony and mutual understanding. Elsa went to the bathroom to take a shower. She enjoyed the warm water running down her skin and thought about the days ahead. The peace and quiet of the house allowed her to focus on her thoughts. The bathroom was cozy, and the water gave her a sense of peace. After the shower, Elsa put on a bathrobe and slippers and headed to the living room. Johan was already sitting in front of the TV, ready for a new day. They exchanged smiles, enjoying a moment of quiet family morning. "Has something happened?" "What is it?" she asked. "Are you going somewhere?" "Yes, dear. A customer called. I need to go to the office urgently." "On Sunday?" "My love," he replied, "I understand that this is inconvenient. I'd like to stay at home with you too. But if I don't go now, we may lose a client and a good profit. Plus, it's important for reputation." "I understand everything, Johan. Go ahead. I hope you'll be back for dinner." "Of course, Sweden is playing Russia in the World Cup today. How can I miss this?" "Really?" She smiled. "Okay, I'll be waiting. Don't forget to call." When Johan left, Elsa felt lonely. She was alone with her thoughts, which had been haunting her for months. It was difficult for her to answer the inner question, "Who am I? A faithful wife or a cheater?" To distract herself from these thoughts, Elsa decided to do the cleaning. Cleaning always helped her cope with anxiety. She spent the next hour and a half putting the house in order. The Nielsen family never kept servants, because Elsa considered household chores her responsibility. She vacuumed thoroughly, dusted the furniture, and mopped the floors. The last cleaning point was the son's room. Despite her best efforts, the room was always a mess, which Christian called creative chaos. When the cleaning was completed, Elsa was tired. She warmed up her soup and had lunch. Then she went to the bedroom to get some rest. The light breeze and the birds singing outside the window calmed her down. She enjoyed the silence and soon fell asleep unnoticed. When Elsa woke up in the late afternoon, she checked her phone. Johan hasn't called yet, but a message has arrived from Bjorn. With trepidation, she opened the message where Bjorn shared his thoughts and memories. Elsa felt agitated, but tried to stay calm. Suddenly the phone rang, and Elsa, startled, answered. Yes, my love. Are you on your way? Yes, I'm on my way, Johann said. Hockey is tonight. Don't forget to take a look. Of course I remember. If you want a beer, you can buy it yourself. I'm tired after cleaning. You're doing great. Johann praised her. Also, I would like to invite a colleague to the game. You don't mind? Of course, invite me, she agreed. When Elsa finished the conversation, she decided to prepare for the arrival of the guests. She wanted to look well-groomed and have a nice evening watching hockey. For this occasion, Elsa decided to dress simply and comfortably, but with taste. She chose denim shorts that accentuated her slender figure and a white sleeveless t-shirt with a light jacket in the colors of the Swedish flag on top. Her hair was pulled back in a ponytail, and her makeup was barely noticeable. Only a little lip gloss and slightly emphasized eyes. When she heard the sound of a car pulling up, she was completely ready. Going down the stairs to the living room, Elsa sat down on a large leather sofa, waiting for the guests. Soon the door opened and the men entered. Dear, hello, Johann said cheerfully. Meet Ali. You've seen him, but you don't seem to remember him. Ali stepped forward and greeted Elsa politely. He was a charismatic man with tan skin, dark hair, and a pleasant smile. Dressed in a simple white shirt and jeans, Ali immediately attracted attention with his charm and confident manner. Great, we made it. Johann was delighted. The match is about to start. Darling, are you with us? Yes, I don't want to miss such an important match. How do you like my outfit? You look beautiful, Johann said. Ali, what do you think? She looks great, Ali replied with a slight smile. The three of them settled down on the couch and started watching the game. Johann and Elsa were sitting next to each other. Ali sat a little apart. Johann enjoyed the game and beer, and Ali, having given up alcohol, drank water. Elsa drank one mug of beer with her husband, but decided not to drink anymore. Well, how can you do that? Johann exclaimed in disappointment when their team missed the puck. It's not the goalkeeper's fault, it was too strong a shot, Ali supported. Elsa tried to get involved in the conversation too, although she did not always understand the subtleties of the points being discussed. Johann soon left for a break, and Elsa was left alone with Ali, feeling a little awkward. You're in great shape, Ali said, coming a little closer. Do you play sports? Yes, I run and go to the gym, she replied. It's obvious. You're in really good shape. It takes effort, especially with housework and children. The children are already adults, but yes, it's not always easy. How old are they? Ali asked. They're 18 now, Elsa said. You look amazing for your age, he smiled. I thought you were about 30. Thank you, she replied, slightly embarrassed. At that moment, Johann returned, and their conversation was interrupted. Johann was clearly passionate about the game, but Elsa warned him not to get carried away with beer, as he had to go to work the next day. However, Johann said that the work was finished and he had a day off tomorrow. The match went on as usual, but the Swedish team was losing. Ali actively discussed the game with Elsa, explaining the nuances of tactics to her. He was already sitting closer to her, and Elsa noticed that his presence had become more pronounced, but decided not to attach importance to it. When Johann asked for water, Elsa got up and went to the kitchen. As she poured the water, she felt that she was being watched. Turning around, she saw Ali standing in the doorway and looking at her with a smile. Has something happened? What is it? She asked. You look great, he replied, still smiling. Elsa, slightly embarrassed, returned with the water to Johann, not paying attention to Ali's words. I think you know what I mean, Ali said, approaching Elsa. He came closer, trying to start a conversation. You are very beautiful. Wait, I'm married, Elsa said firmly, remaining calm. And my husband is in the next room. He has been sleeping for a long time and will most likely sleep for a long time. He was very tired. And this water, Ali carefully took her hand, in which she was holding a glass, he no longer needs. With these words, he accidentally spilled water on her jacket. What are you doing? Elsa was indignant. I'm sorry, I just happened to, Ali replied with a smile. You probably need to take off your jacket so that it doesn't get wet anymore. Elsa, slightly embarrassed by this situation, took off her jacket and put it aside. She felt awkward, but tried to keep calm. Don't, Ollie, she said softly. You and I are just friends. Ollie realized that he had gone too far and stopped. He looked at Elsa with understanding and said, I'm sorry. I didn't want to create an uncomfortable situation. Let's just get back to the game. They returned to the living room, where Johann was still sleeping, and sat down to watch the match again. He accelerated his pace, trying to move faster. His face became serious and focused. Elsa tried to breathe deeply, trying to remain calm at the moment of their communication. The room was hot, and Ollie wiped the sweat from his face. This is incredible, he exclaimed. You're just amazing. With that, he sat down on the edge of the table, and Elsa came closer, continuing the conversation. Ollie didn't say anything anymore. He was completely lost in his thoughts. Both were silent, thinking about what had happened. Finally, Ollie, realizing that the conversation had dragged on, breathed a sigh of relief and said, It was wonderful. You are a great hostess. Thanks for everything. Thank you, Elsa replied, picking up her jacket from the floor and putting it on. I hope you enjoyed everything. After a while, Ollie and Elsa were standing by his car, and Ollie said goodbye warmly. Thank you for your hospitality, Ollie said with a smile. You are a wonderful hostess. It was nice to see you. Come visit me again sometime, Elsa replied with a smile. I will, he said, and saying goodbye, got into the car. The car drove off towards the night horizon, and Elsa, watching him, remained standing in silence under the light of the moon.